And we're live. Welcome, welcome everybody to the Mum-Freedom-Preneurs Hangout. And welcome. Today's topic for this hangout is the power of the moment versus worrying about your future by focusing on the past. And but before we get into that, I'm going to go across with everybody here on the panel, quickly introducing ourselves, and then we're going to dive into our topic. So, hi, I'm Valerie Jankowski. I am the Abundance Mum Freedompreneur from Abundance Now, and I am a single mom. I got twin 5-year-old boys. I usually give my naked kid alert, but I think they're pretty much settled in the other room. And the reason, why I do this is why I'm here. Is when I used to be an entertainment attorney, and when I was very, very, very pregnant with the twins sitting there in the office, I know some of you heard this, but it was a powerful thing. I was very pregnant, sitting there in my office, and had this massive realization that I really, I need to switch something up because I really wanted to be home with my kids. I wanted to be home with my kids. I wanted to be there for all those precious moments. Had I stayed where I was, I would have not been able to. I mean, my kids have probably been raised by nannies, pretty much. I would have hardly. I've been lucky if I'd be able to tuck them in at night. So, anyways, and I had this massive realization. There was something much more powerful in my life that I had to do than what I was doing every day. So much more to share, and I'm just so grateful to be here to be able to do that and have like some of the topics that we talk about here on our Mumpreneur Hangout, and really be able to help people to inspire. That's what feeds my soul, is to inspire people into seeing what's possible for them, and transitioning from a place of lack into really experiencing, all the abundance in their life. So, yeah, that's me, and I'm going to come across the board here. I'm going to start over. It goes alphabetically. Google does it alphabetically by first name. So, Donna, you are up first.
Yeah, good morning or good evening wherever you are, and hi Val and the other girls. I'm Donna from Next Generation Peace Project. My whole name has totally changed now because I went to the Perth Mastermind and I was our gypsy family, which I still am, and I really got to the core of why it is that I love travelling with our family. And the reason is because I love putting my children in other cultures, and I feel when we do this with our kids, we're putting them into an environment where they learn about other people and other people's cultures, and they're excited about it. So I think that creates tolerance in our world. So my mission in my life is to create peace, one child at a time, for the next generations to come. So that's what my mission is, and that's why I'm here.
I love it, and I love the picture of the globe, the world behind you on the wall. I love that.
We're all global citizens, Val.
Exactly, we're all global citizens. I love it. Exactly. That is so cool. Joan, you are up.
So that is so cool, Donna. I love that vision. I
Yeah.
love how you changed up and put it out there, and it's so powerful. Anyways, I'm Joan Dazan, and I am a stay-at-home mother of 3 boys, 6, 5, and he'll be 2 in November. Wow, I can't even believe it. And I pretty much had started being working online because I wanted to provide more for my family and provide an opportunity for my family. We had recently come off of my husband had come home from a year-long deployment overseas, and so I started working online and wanted to find something so that we can both be home with the kids so we don't miss any more time with each other. And now my husband is home and we're enjoying our time together and we're coming back together as a family. He's able to watch the kids right now, and we're able to just be with each other. And that's what I want for my family. And one of my visions is, like Donna, be able to travel the world as our family and to teach these kids about the whole world, about different cultures, and about traveling, and about embracing travel and embracing just everything around the world. So super awesome. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on this panel. Again, I'm always so grateful to be with you, lovely and inspiring women this morning.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I'm going over, and I'm so excited you're back on, Serena.
Hi. Yes, I'm Serena, and I'm in Queensland, Australia, so it's almost 20 past 1 in the morning here.
Up.
So yeah, so it was hard, but I did it. And down at my feet, I have my little 17-month-old. She woke up before, so she's just down there on the lounge, so I can get to her if I need to. But I have 4 kids. I've got an 11-year-old daughter, 10-year-old son, 8-year-old daughter, and my 17-month-old. So ultimately, I got into this, business because I wanted to be able to be a stay-at-home mum and be with the kids and, be with them when they need me and basically be able to live life on our terms. Like we love to go camping and, my husband loves surfing and stuff. So, that's why we want to do it. We don't want to just be living anymore to work every day. We want to work to live, really. So, yeah, so that's why I'm here, and thank you for having me on the panel tonight, Val.
Yay! I'm excited you're here because I know it's like being up between 1 and 2 a.m. So,
Yeah.
And I want to give a quick shout out if there's anybody that, I know we can see that there's folks watching. We can actually tell that. We can see that on our page. You can see who's watching. So I know there's folks out there watching. So shout out to say, hey, watching here wherever you're at, whatever the time is. I'm here in Los Angeles, by the way. It's about 20 after 8 in the morning for us. We started a little bit late, but we're here. And I just want to see, I don't know, Joan or anybody, Donna, Serena, can you take a look at the page and see if we have any comments yet? Anybody shouting out where they're at? Any of that? I normally announce at the beginning, and I forgot to do it. Let me see.
Yeah, there's nothing on there yet.
Nothing yet? Okay, all right.
People watching, yeah.
Well, for those of you that are watching in the replay, right, and we know there's folks, Australia, whatever, all over the place, the time zone, you're not up at 1 a.m. watching us. Just, feel free to shout out where you're watching from, and even the time of day it happens to be for you as you're watching this, because we're all here together, we're all here in different time zones live, we're here in literally time zones around the world, and so yeah, let us know where you are, where you're watching from, and also if there's anything that arises as you're watching live, especially we're going to be checking at one point, and we'll be. We can make this quite interactive. And even if you're watching this in the replay, comment whatever your thoughts are, because we do go back in and we do comment, and that way you are a part of us, and in energy and everything else. Our intention is that you are. So I'm going to just dive into this topic, and a lot of you folks know, I love Agape Michael Bernard Beckwith. This is sort of this is inspired by something that came down in Agape over the weekend. And I wanted to actually start us off with a quote. And it's like a little bit of a section from a book by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And it's called Being in Balance, 9 Principles for Creating Habits to Match Your Desires. 9 Principles for Creating Habits to Match Your Desires. That's the name of the book. So, and what I'm going to be quoting to you is actually from chapter 6. I'm just going to pull up my little notes here. And it actually starts on page, I think it's 118. Let me scroll up to my notes here at the top here. Yeah, it's on page 118. So, and this is not the whole quote, it's pieces of it, but it's very, very powerful. So I'm going to read a part of it to start the concept of what we're talking about here. So what Dr. Wayne Dyer talks about, he says, when you use your history to try to understand why you're out of balance on the abundance scale, what you're really saying is, I have a long history of attracting scarcity into my life, and I intend to continue doing precisely the same thing. Thinking that your past is responsible for continuing insufficiency is your source of resistance. And he talks about, you've probably been taught that if you don't pay attention to the mistakes of the past, you're bound to repeat them. But he goes on to say, keeping your thoughts on the mistakes of the past guarantees that you'll manifest them in the present. He says, I think you're better off tossing out any thoughts of any deficiencies in your past. Refuse to think about what's failed to materialize unless you're hoping for more of the same. Just avoid talking about your bleak past. Don't identify yourself as someone whose childhood or early adulthood was characterized by dearth or atrocity. Instead, look upon your entire history as a series of steps you needed to take in order to bring yourself to the present realization of your endless potential for abundance. And be grateful for all that failed to show up, then move from resistance to the direction of manifesting your desires. And rebalance your thinking so that it matches up with those desires. He says to have an affirmation that's something along the lines of, it is my desire to think thoughts that vibrate perfectly with my desire to be abundant in all areas of my life. I release any and all thoughts that put my focus and therefore my pulling power on what has or hasn't been. This is the key to restoring balance. So I kind of want to start off with that and just kind of see what your thoughts are on what I just read. It was very powerful. I've got a lot of other notes and thoughts on it, but I kind of wanted to jump out there. Same thing with anybody of you watching this. Put your comments in the chat about what did that trigger, what thoughts, what did that bring up for you, what ideas have you got? Donna, do you want to pop out on that?
Oh, I'm speechless. It's very bizarre for me. I might just sit back for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I can go. Do you want me to go?
That's cool. That's cool. I know it was for me. It really, it was really like kind of like a shift. It's like a shift in awareness. It's like a shift.
Yeah.
It's a shift. Because I really find myself, and especially, I think about what we do with our kids. I mean, I find myself a lot looking and focusing on the past and thinking that somehow that's going to fix it. And focusing on those, and even with our kids saying, well, you did this in the past, right? And thinking that you have to like dwell on what they did in the past in order to fix the future. And it's,
yeah.
For me, it was a big shift. I mean, a lot of areas and everything. And Joan, you want to hop out on it?
Yeah, that's extremely powerful, what you just read there, because, like you said, a lot of people do look in the past to fix what is in the future, or we dwell on the past, or we dwell on our past mistakes to fix the future. And for some reason, that's how we've been trained to create the future, and that's so not. We totally just got it so off. And to be able to say, to block out the past, or to let go of the past, so that you won't have any resistance to the future, and just to allow what your desires are, to allow that happen, then you, like you said, you can attract what your true desires are. When you think about your past mistakes, I never thought that, hey, when I'm thinking about my past mistakes, I never thought about that having to affect, attracting more of those things. I never, but it's true. That's why you see all these different patterns over and over again, and that's why we question, why is this happening again? Like, what is this? And, oh, well, that's the answer. That's why it happens again, because we dwell on it so much. So that is so true, and that's what that whole paragraph you said, it totally made so much sense to me, because I see that pattern happening, and to be able to let go and to be able to stop resisting and stop dwelling on the past, because that totally should not affect your future, and it doesn't predict your future. It's what you do now in the moment. Here is how you create your future, and what you desire for your future, and how you bring that into the manifestation. So that totally just blew me away. If you can, what was that book I know it was a book, a Wayne Dyer book, but what was the title of it again?
It's Wayne Dyer. Hang on one second. Let me just, my phone, I've got this little thing here on my phone that's pretty much to keep the little peanuts out of it. So I've got the notes here on my phone. Yeah, the book is, the title of the book is, it's Dr. Wayne Dyer, and it's Being in Balance. Being in Balance, 9 principles for creating habits to match your desires. I love even the title, 9 principles for creating habits to match your desires.
Can you play on my iPad too?
And I'll write it down. I'll put it in our chat below as well. So you have it. Serena, what was your thoughts on that, on the quote?
Well, it's very funny that this is what the topic is tonight, because this book, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, The Power of Now.
The Power of Now. So I've just started reading that just yesterday. So I never really was aware, like you said, about, you're sort of bringing up past things, and then it's continually going on and on. You keep going over the same thing. So that's a big thing that I'm sort of coming to learn now, is just being in the now, the present. Don't worry about the past. It's happened. It's been. It's gone. It's done. You can't change it. And, don't even worry about the future. Like, you just got to be in the present and in the now, and, embrace now.
Yeah, I want to quickly just see. Can you take a look and just see on our page if we got anybody that's commented at all on the quote, just to see if anybody's popped out on it. If not, that's okay, because we have a lot of people that watch in the replay. So, anything there? Nope. Okay, muted. All right, cool. I want to take us into just actually really. I was going to do this at the end, but I'm just listening to my gut on this to take us to really just sort of like really quick exercise. But before I get into that, again, a lot of this came for me from Michael Bernard Beckwith, and I know what I was going to say to you. Okay, quickly to my thought. I was like, my thoughts are all over the place. At any moment, anything like worrying about the past, or worrying about the future, at any moment anything could change. Especially in our business. We're all set up. We're especially for all of us here on this panel here. At any moment, like things can happen because of the way we have automated systems in place. So, for example, it's like I wake up one morning, and I don't know that morning when I wake up that day I'm going to make $3,000. It's like that happened to me a few days ago. This happened. We're all said poof, boom, right? And that happens to us here in what we do. So you just and it also could have, I woke up, and if I'd gone into a really negative place, I might have actually blocked that from happening. Seriously, blocked that from happening. So that kind of thing where you don't know from moment to moment, if worrying about your past literally blocks what's already ours. It can block what's already ours in the present. And it's kind of like this weird shift of awareness into realizing that we actually already do have everything that is ours. It's like it's already been given. Have you ever heard of this, like ask and it is given? There's all these different things out there, but it's already ours, right? That our abundance, everything is already ours. And when we're focusing on the past or viewing the past in a negative way, right, instead of seeing it as everything that happened, every single thing that happened was part of the process to bring me to this present moment so that I can experience right here, right now, all abundance, right? Mm-hmm. And but that everything is actually always being given. It's always there, and our job is to just allow it. Not even to allow it to, it's almost like there's nothing, we think that there's, I mean, this is what Michael Bernard Beckwith was explaining. This is a very powerful thing. It was like, we don't need to make, it's not about making things happen. This is a weird shift. It was a massive shift for me. It's not about making things happen because they're already ours. It's actually about getting out of our own way, allowing it and allowing to know allowing the inspiration for right action, allowing in the moment, moment to moment, what actions to take, what inspiration in this moment, what is my moment here right now, and which is very different from worrying about the past and going into a place of awareness. When we're in this place of awareness that it's already ours, that we're all good in this moment, we have the good. It literally, I'm just take a look at my notes here, just a second here. It's like when you're not blocking what's already yours, you're no longer inhibiting it. It's like, so the virus of your mind that goes into this place of that buys into this idea that somehow it's important to focus on mistakes of the past in order to stop things about the future, and that by somehow worrying about the future and planning for the worst case scenario is somehow going to make things better, because you're afraid that what happened in the past is going to continue in the future. So you keep doing this planning of the future. That's all of that focus back and forth between worrying about the past and worrying about the future, which is actually projecting a negative into the future, or feeling guilt about the past and therefore worrying that you're going to repeat it in the future. That all that focus is just, all that's doing is like literally cutting yourself off from the present moment and the abundance that when you're separated from that what you need actually shows up. It's like right there. It's ready to show up. Yeah. Whereas, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's right there. So there's this little exercise for everybody to do right here with us. For everybody right now, and those of you watching this, whether you're watching it in the replay or whether you're watching it live, you can do this with us right now. Everybody just take a deep breath and release. And one more time, take a deep breath and release. Okay. Now, was anybody worrying about whether or not there was going to be enough air in the room? No. Okay. It's like, so in that moment, like right now, you just took a deep breath and you released, right? Your heart was beating, you had your breath in that moment. Just that moment, like that right here, right now moment, this right here, right now moment, you had everything. You're able to breathe. Like, were you missing anything in this moment? Like right here, right now, was there anything missing? Was everything pretty much? I don't know if you can explain, like it's having a conscious awareness of like that, just the moment of right now. Like going into a deep breath can be a way that we can just consciously bring ourselves into the present and realizing, literally right here, right now. We have everything. I'm going to throw one other thought. I'm going to throw everybody else out there into like coming into their thoughts on this. It was a story. Michael Bernard Beck was talking about this woman who was, she was doing a prayer to the presence of God. You can talk to the universe, whatever you want. So she'd written out this piece of paper, and she wrote out. She's like, I really need the money for next month's rent and for food for my kids and gas in the car and all these different things that she wrote that she needed for next month. And she put it in a drawer, and she was just sitting there and she was praying, and this voice popped up saying, "What do you need now?" And so she pulled out the list that she pulled out from the drawer. She says, "Okay, well, I need money for next month's rent, I need money for clothes for the kids, I need money for food and money for gas for the car," just like all this litany of things, right? She needed for next month. And the voice came up again saying, "Well, okay, what do you need now?" And she goes through the list. Well, maybe I missed something. Let me look at the list again, right? So she's going through a list of all the things that she needs for next month. And the voice is like, "Well, what do you need now?" And all of a sudden she goes, "Oh, you mean like this now? Like this right here, right now? Oh, I'm good." Right? and it was sort of a funny story, but it's like that whole adjustment into that place of like this now, like right here, this now, and that all we need to do is just keep extending this now, right here, right now. and then what we need actually shows up. So, anyways, I see the smiles across the panel here. Anyone of you want to pop out in whatever order you want to pop out on this? Donna, now you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. It's very rare for me to feel like I don't have anything to say. I just want to take us back to about 6 months ago, Val, when you took me through that manifesting challenge.
Yep.
And how big it was for me. And Val took me through this whole big manifesting, I'll say challenge. And it actually got me over to Nashville. And 4 months before I went to Nashville, I actually didn't have any money to go or any thought process on how I was going to make it happen. Anyway, Val got me into that mindset of, I feel like this is what we're kind of talking about with abundance and stuff, because it got me into the what can I do right now kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time. By the way, I went to Nashville, so I was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
And I always give Val credit for that, because I think she is a master manifester and she's great at teaching it. But there's no way that I could have got there if I was hung up on stuff in the past or even the future. Well, the future, it was what it was. I'm going to Nashville, to the point where I bought my one-way plane ticket and then a week later had to buy the other way back sort of thing, because I had so much belief that I was going. And when I was at the end of the road in how am I going to make the next lot of money to get my plane ticket home or the hotel, I actually just had to say to the universe, what now? What now? Right now. And it seemed to just come each time. It was amazing. This stuff works, guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's just like, yeah, and you've done so much since then. I mean, it's like your life has just been flowing. I mean, it's powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful. Joan, you want to hop out?
Yeah, sure. That's awesome. I love. That's a great story, Donna. And I know since I've been doing these hangouts with Val and the whole, trying to manifest and create your future, it's been pretty awesome. I'd say with my life, even if it's just something small. Even I know, Val, you are a awesome manifestor, and that's so cool. And for me, it started small. And a big one that happened for us this week was. So we're now trying to, we have an abundance of just stuff, and part of that is our home, and we believe that our home is we don't need such a big house for what we actually need, and so we've decided to sell our home, and I had a particular buyer in mind that was going to say yes to our price, that was going to say yes to that it would be a perfect deal, that someone would come in our home and say, I love the price, I love the home, we want to move in fast. And there's been a few people that have been looking at our home and that have been like nitpicking at, we don't have all the upgrades and we don't have this and not that. All of a sudden, and I've had that in my mind for a long time, that the perfect person will come in and say, we want it at your price, now we're going to move in. And just this weekend, that person, that family had come in and they had said, your house is wonderful, we love it, we want to move in fast, we love your price. And they even emailed us yesterday and said, just to make the deal sweeter, we'll give you more than you asked for. And then said
I love it.
And I was like, I totally did that. Of course, it's not myself, it's, my divine and the creator and the universe, but I attracted this, and this is wonderful. So what else can I do? So it's just that feeling that you could be like, I so did this, and so now you can just do more. And now it's like, oh, now you know what's possible. Yeah. So Yeah, and it's, and then there's been little stuff here and there, but that was a huge one for me this week. So I just wanted to share that with you guys there. So it's been pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really great. And that was probably one of my biggest things, because I've been doing, little stuff here and there, and, just to declutter, my brain, and to just start doing these little manifestations, and gosh, it rolls, and like you said, Donna, it works. It so works, and now you have, just that much more faith that you can co-create this life, you can predict your future, so it's awesome, amazing. And it's so true, whatever, when you let go of the past, you let go of everything, and you have total faith that what you ask for, you will receive it, and it's awesome. So that's all I have to say.
I love it. Yeah. And what I really love about that is that you got more than you could imagine. You actually got more than you could imagine.
Yes, and that's what
to open up to even more good than you can possibly imagine. It's like you sat down this right person, and you got more than your right price. Right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what they say. So they talk about it. It's like open up and you allowed it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You kept staying. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Serena.
Well, I've just totally lost what I was going to say, because I had in my head before when Donna was speaking, and now I've just lost it listening to everyone. But I think it was something about just being in the now. I think sometimes being like a mum with 4 kids as well, you have 1,000 things going on in your head about, what you're cooking for dinner, what clothes you got to wash, who you got to take to wear, to dancing, to football, to school, to what dentist appointment, and you have so many things going on in your head. And just since I've started reading this book, I've just sort of come to the fact that you just need to stop, and like I have all those things in my diary, and I know that they're there, and then just go with one thing, and just go one thing by one thing, and not think of everything, because otherwise you just get so overwhelmed with everything, and then your life sort of seems chaotic then. And I guess you're bringing that into your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're never in the present with the kids.
Yeah, that's right.
We're worrying about what's coming up next, or being upset about maybe something that didn't quite go exactly, a second before. I mean, I've done that. I've gone into that. I've done that.
Yeah.
It's like, and instead of just being, look at that little face that's like all those little moments in the here and the now, especially with our little ones, Yeah. If they're kids.
So that's what I'm doing more of now, is just being in the now, in the present, especially like, my 17-month-old, she's so active now. So when the other kids are at school, I can spend that time with her and, do things with her. And like the washing, everything else can wait. It's still going to be there later for me to do anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just being present and in the now, and just learning to embrace that.
That's cool. And it's the same thing, like, even with our business and what we do, is it's like, because we can, set aside time that we do whatever we do our business, and we can do this when our kids are sleeping. We can do this so that we can be present in the now with our kids, and do, and be there with them for all of, and do the stuff and experience the moments. Like Donna, when you're, traveling in the cultures and everything else, to catch those moments. Like when I was in Bali, I mean, just, little things of like, being able to walk with my kids and have this little monkey hop out into the walkway, and have my kids have a little conversation with the monkey in the road. I mean, it's just like, where do you do that? I mean, just that from like that there's something cool, but just even just in the moment, catching that little smile, that little thing, or I find the more I'm present in this, I'm picking up more of even just what's going on with my kids in the moment, in the present, and just the more I release into that, the more stuff happens. Like, it just, what's there, it's for me, what was this like reading? I was going to go back into my notes on this, because I wrote all this cool stuff. Let's see, what was I writing here? So I was taking everything told me to take these notes. I don't always take notes. I just have sense. I think that there's a need for me to say with this. Okay, I'm going to say it because it's right in front of me. The harvest is always ready. It's having the awareness that the harvest is always ready, and that you know, the beauty, the love, the abundance, the prosperity, it's always here. It's always here. It's like it's already been given. If you want to call it God, you want to call it the universe, it's already been given. And and anything can happen. And our cleverness, thinking about it into the abundance when you did the manifestation thing, Donna, it's like our cleverness isn't going to figure it out, right? And it's really about allowing in the moment to open up to the what's next, to the what's here, to the what's now.
Yeah, to really.
Yeah.
It's like it's all floating around, and you just got to pick it out, but it's like invisible. So you've got to be able to be open to go, right, what's next? And you've just it's been open, I think.
Yeah, and things pop, right? Like you were talking about, ideas pop. All of a sudden, an idea pops, or something that was like right in front of your nose. All of a sudden, oh, I could do this, right? Something like, yeah. I remember you going through. It's like, what happened? You had a visa issue at the last second too. Like you're already.
Yes.
All of a sudden, to explain. Tell them a story about that. It was cool.
I actually was ready to go. I had my tickets, my plane, everything. My event ticket even. I'd spent something like $5,000 to get over there, and then all of a sudden, there was a problem that I'd had with my American visa from a few years back when we were going to come over to the States and we wanted to buy all the cheap property. You know the drill. Anyway. And I actually had to, so I called up the visa or the US consulate, and I just said to them, oh, I'm just going in for an event. And they said, oh, yeah, that's cool, but you have to go to Sydney. And I'm going, oh. And it really took me by surprise. And I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, I've got to get a plane ticket from Brisbane, and I've got to stay overnight down there, and then I've got to go in and spend another $300 or $400, which when you're manifesting is massive, but it just happened. And I thought to myself, if I don't go down to Sydney and get this sorted, I could so easily just give up and just go, look, too hard and everything. But I didn't, because deep within me, I thought I just have to keep powering through, and I powered, and I'm thinking, what if the visa people don't let me go over to America? What if that is a problem? And Val kept saying to me, nah, it's already done. You're already going, you've got your plane ticket. And I'm going, yeah, I've got my plane ticket. I'm going to Sydney. I'm getting my visa. And I seriously spoke to the lady, and she was lovely, and she said, oh, have a great time. But then she told me that I could have my visa, but I'd have to wait another day in Sydney for it. So I had to get more accommodation. It was getting late of an evening. And I ended up just sucking it up and just doing what I had to do and being in that moment, and it was really powerful. And as I said, a few days later, I was in Nashville.
Well, I mean, what's so cool about that is it's like, because you could, like, stuff comes up, and instead of, and here's the thing, like right now, here's what's happening, just like in the moment here right now. Somebody's watching this and hearing your story of what you went through, and you're and that you did this, and it actually turned out to be a positive thing, because it's like everything that happened, including that piece that might have been the piece that sort of stopped it all, instead turned into the thing that got you focused even more into the power of the now, into the more that's possible, and into being able to do other things. So it may have seemed in the moment that was like there's two ways of taking a look at what popped up. It could have been something that, oh, this is all screwed and now, la, 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 la. But instead, it became the best possible thing ever.
Yeah.
Because the shift that you had, you went through an even deeper shift into the awareness of, here in the now, I've got it, it's already mine, I'm going, I just got to keep moving. And I remember you posting up a video that day when you were floating around Sydney. right? And you were just, kind of like checking out what was going on. You were like, so like, well, I'm here. Let me just see what's around me while I'm waiting for my extra day. You got like you did. It was a cool thing. I thought it was. I just all the different things and all the little things that are happening to us and everything in the moment. It's all part of the,
Yeah.
Everything was good. It's like for a moment you panicked and you went into the, well, what if I don't, and what if this, and what if that, and instead you kind of like,
Yeah. I actually went, nah, I don't have time for that crap kind of thinking. I just don't have time for it. I've got stuff to do. And I think when you take yourself out of that kind of thinking, you take yourself away from an almost victim mentality, because you take yourself into your power. And that's how that's how I feel even now with my new peace vision. It's like, oh, I've got stuff to do. There's big stuff going on, and I got to do it because this is what's going on.
But
Anyway, I could ramble all day.
No, but what's cool is it's coming from a place of excitement within you. It's like, I got big stuff to do. I got this big vision. I see, because you see this vision. It's like already now, you see it. Like when you say your peace project, I was like, oh, I got it. I felt it. You got the map box and everything. I mean, it's like, but you're excited, and so the action that you're taking and the wisdom of like, and then each now moment is like, what's my action? Oh, I've got all this stuff to do. What is it now? Oh, I'm going to do this, and now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing this, and you're in motion doing this powerful vision that you see, and you're living and being excited about the process of what you're doing, even in the now of all of it, like right now of doing it. It's different than coming, even though you're in action and you're taking a lot of excitement. It's a different place than coming from this place of, oh, I have to get this thing done because I have to do this. It's a different energy than coming from a place of fear that I have to do all these things. So I stop this bad thing from happening in the future. I have to do all these things now to stop this bad thing in the future. It's a completely different space. Completely different space.
Do you know what? I probably couldn't have told you about that until I had this whole big shift in what was going on with me. And even yesterday, before I met up with Serena, we did a bit of a mastermind together. I went for a walk. Even my walk was done with purpose. I'm walking along going, I've got stuff to do. This is great. Oh, gee, what a great moment. Gee, the sun's coming up. And it was in that moment and that whole sense of purpose, and you just feel incredibly alive.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think it's cool for everybody watching this. I want to check. Can somebody quick check? As here, it's harder for me while I'm on this. Check to see if we have any comments of anything on our page, of anybody popping out on any of the stuff that we're talking about. Yeah, it may come in the replay. I just want to see if it's there. Anybody see anything?
No, I can't see anything.
Okay, well, that's all right. Those of you I know you're watching, a little shy. It's all right. But but again, in the replay, feel, if you're watching this in the replay, feel free to hop out on anything and any of your experiences on any of this. But it's so cool. I mean, that's what this is. This isn't about, I'm just going to sit. It's not. Some people think that when you get into visualization and all this other stuff, that it's not about taking any action. We're still taking action. It's just, where's that? It's inspired right action. It's inspired right action. Comes from the moment. And while we're taking the action, we're in the now. It's like we're experiencing. We're not, worrying about the future while we're in the process of the now. It's about, just constantly being open to feeling like everything is great right now, and this is what I'm doing, and being excited about, what's the next, like seeing, we have like a vision of what we're doing. But it's not based on fear, and it's based on knowing that it's already ours, and we're just, experiencing and even experiencing that it's all good, that we know what's happening, and we're just taking action. I mean, the analogy that I have of it is, what's a good analogy? It's like you got your plane ticket, you're going on a trip, right? You got your plane ticket, where you're going, right? And the excitement of packing your suitcase. Because, okay, let's see, I need a bathing suit. That's right, there's a pool. I got a bathing suit. And, what are the things and all these cool things that you're taking and packing for this trip, and the excitement even of being, you know, going through that process, and even just thinking about, you know, knowing that it's already yours, that the trip is already yours. And that's something in the future, but it's but maybe it's something that's happening because you're hopping on the plane, you know, tomorrow or whatever it is. But in the moment, it's about being excited versus being panicked and worried about everything about the trip while you're packing.
Well, and that's a big thing, Val, because I travel all the time and with kids, but I pack half an hour before I leave all the time. I'm a shocker. But when I was doing that exercise with you, I packed a week before because it was all getting my mind into, oh, you know, what's the weather like in Nashville? Oh, because I'm going there next week, or, you know, all of that kind of thing. So that was really an important thing to me. I am back to half an hour beforehand because that's where I feel best. But that was a really big, powerful thing too, because it really channeled my, you know, my thoughts on, oh, hey, I'm going to Nashville. So
yeah. And I love it. I just keep thinking, like, loving, you've got this globe behind you, that it's like, you know, this world, you got the world there, and, you know, and it's just having, you know, whatever it is, whatever your vision is for yourself. I mean, you know, maybe it's not traveling the world, somebody watching this, but just knowing that, you know, if you've had a vision or a dream, that it is yours, and it's completely irrelevant what your current, you know, situation is. That the most important thing is realizing you're okay in the now, to be able to take action in the future, and that the actions of, like, what is it in this moment to do, and experiencing and enjoying the now. I mean, there's so much depth into all of that, but for me, it's a big thing. Just really realizing it's not a matter of making it happen. It really is already ours, and all we're doing is just removing the resistance to it, so that all the inspired actions and all the brilliance and more good than we could possibly imagine is right here, right now.
I was reading some. I just want to say something real quick. I was reading or listening to something this weekend, and I want to go back to your breathing exercise that we just did a few minutes ago about. You're in the moment now. Was there any lack of oxygen? No. So there's this abundance of oxygen. So, and I was reading that the truth is abundance. There is no truth in lack and limitations. That's just, I don't know where it came from, but it's not the truth. And the truth is abundance. And when you see that the abundance is a truth, then you see it everywhere, and then you attract it to everything. Your body is this one huge miracle. Like, your body temperature has to be at a certain temperature to be able to function. Your organs and your heart, like, this is a miracle. This is abundant, huge miracle, because all these things are working in your direction, are working for your good, and it's crazy how it all happens. And that is abundance. And you breathe the air is so abundant. You look at the trees are so abundant. The grass, there's so much abundance around you. And once you see that there's no limitations and there's no lack, then you start to see that there is no such thing as lack. It's only abundance, and that's the truth. And like you said, I love that. I love the breathing exercise, because right now you have abundance. Right now, in the moment, the truth is abundance, and that's what you have at this moment. And so if you go by moment to moment, then hey, your whole life is so abundant. And how awesome is that, to be able to say, gosh, I'm not lacking anything at this moment. There's no such thing. There's just no such thing. So people could just get that out of their brains and just say, that is not the truth. That is, lack is not the truth. There's only one way, and that's abundance. So, but I have to go, so I just want to say thank you, Val, and it's awesome to be here on this hand. Thank you so much. Mwah. Love you guys.
Love you. I love it, Joan. I love it. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was really cool, wasn't it?
That was really cool. That was really, really cool. We're only abundance. That's it. Serena, you want to? Oh, little one there. Hi, Kitty Pie. Hi. Hi there. Oh, pecan.
Yeah. Oh, she's trying to get down my top.
We're all mums here.
We're almost sweet pea. Oh, cute little smile. Yeah. Hi. Hi there. Yeah. And these are the moments why we're here.
That's right.
Yeah.
These are the moments. This is what it's all about right here, right now. It's all good, yeah? Yeah. I got my mommy and melted my face right in there.
Yeah. Oh, Papa.
Aw, I love it, I love it. Aw, that's so cute. That's so sweet. Oh, goodness. So, yeah. Serena, did you want to pop out and say anything else? Otherwise, we're just all loving looking at you with your little one there. No, you're good. It says it all right there, actually. Hi. Yeah. So on that beautiful note, so yeah, live it and breathe it. Go back, listen to it, replay of what I said at the beginning. That quote. Go get that. I recommend getting the book. I'm gonna write the name of the book in the chat below. Yep. And yeah, and just live and breathe. I'll also give the link to the full link to where I got my piece of it on the Agape piece in there as well, if anybody wants to hear it direct from the source of Michael Bernard Beckwith as they're talking about it, because that's where they quoted this piece, and there was a whole lot more that he said around all of that as well. And if you want to connect with us, if you're here and you're still watching us, you can always click on the link below, and that's who you can access to do what it is that we do, so we can have our little talks about this sort of thing to help inspire people, because this is what I love. I just like this, the feeling I have right now in the moment of what we just did, even talking about all this, because I know someone that's watching this has had an aha, or it's going to hit you when you're taking a shower or something's going to pop, right? And I'm very excited for all of you, for all of the abundance that is ours, that we're going to start allowing yourself to feel it and let it be in the moment, and take action on what's in front of you in the moment, is for part of the vision, allowing your vision, like Donna, your vision popped up. I love it. It's so cool. The shift of what you're hearing, what you're doing, and we'll see you all next week. And if anybody has any thoughts, they'd love us to let us know. Love you all. See you all next week.